Trump's claim that he could end Ukraine's war in a day is a beautiful thought but not true, Zelenskyy says.
Here's a summary of the article.
Donald Trump was president for 4 years and in that time was unable to resolve the Ukraine-Russia conflict, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said in an interview that aired Sunday, rejecting as pure fantasy the Republicans' claim that he could end the war in a day. Trump has even asserted that Russia's full-scale invasion, launched in February 2022, could have been ended, by him, in a single day. Zelenskyy, asked about that assertion, was himself diplomatic, saying the desire to bring the war to an end is beautiful. But, he added, this desire should be based on some real-life experience. Noting that Russia first invaded Ukraine in 2014, illegally annexing Crimea, Zelenskyy argued that Trump already had a chance to negotiate a peace deal with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Well, it looks as if Donald Trump had already these 24 hours once in his time. We were at war, not a full-scale war, but we were at war, and as I assume he had that time at his disposal, but he must have had some other priorities, the Ukrainian leader said. While president, Trump temporarily withheld congressionally approved military aid to Ukraine in an effort to pressure Zelenskyy to open an investigation into his political rival, then Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden, an incident that led to his impeachment. If we are talking about ending the war at the cost of Ukraine, in other words to make us give up our territories, well, I think in this way Biden could have brought it to an end even in 5 minutes, he said.
This post received a score of 9,900, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Zelenskyy phrases it so diplomatically. But, he added, this desire should be based on some real-life experience. Noting that Russia first invaded Ukraine in 2014, illegally annexing Crimea, Zelenskyy argued that Trump already had a chance to negotiate a peace deal with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Well, it looks as if Donald Trump had already these 24 hours once in his time. We were at war, not a full-scale war, but we were at war, and as I assume he had that time at his disposal, but he must have had some other priorities, the Ukrainian leader said.
You can just read golfing in the subtext here. It burns so much more when you don't have to say it.
Absolutely. Zelenskyy worded that perfectly because we know what he really meant.
Trump would probably take the path of least resistance, which is to stop supplying Ukraine with military support and giving Russia exactly what they want in terms of the land it has already captured.
This fucking guy needs to open his fly when he has to count to 11. Delusional does not equal beautiful.
He opens his fly and can still only count to 10.5.
Lol. I think you've just perfected the joke.
Trump went and met North Korea leader and got nothing in return, and they are still in nuclear weapons. They made him look like a fool. Still crowd support this guy.
Wonder what North Korea thought when the US president said he and Supreme Leader Kim were in love. And then we fell in love, okay? No, really, he wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. D. Trump on Kim Jong-un.
Greater than wonder what North Korea thought when the US president said he and Supreme Leader Kim were in love. Well, Trump was in love.
Yes, he would, by cutting supplies for Ukraine and rearming Putin instead. Please, dear Muricans, Don T fuck the world even more up in 24.
We're trying. Sadly, the overwhelming majority can be outvoted by a bunch of empty farm fields.
An overwhelming majority wins. It was a small majority, and it's a shame it can be that way. No need to make it sound worse than it is, though.
They are right with regard to the Senate, where for instance one Wyoming voter has the same representation as 59 California voters.
Trump's claim, like all his claims, are pure nonsense. He lives in a world where he is the center of all. Soon, he will be in a jumpsuit that matches his facial color, orange.
How dare you? He'll have a new healthcare plan 2 weeks after his inauguration in 2025. Just you wait.
Don't forget about his infrastructure plan that's due in 2 weeks.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.